Sorry, sir. One more moment to express.
Okay. Oh, this box is also. You can show the sweets.
Now I request Mr. Shreyans Modi to felicitate Mr. Ravi Deka sir, founder. Abhi, sorry, I'm not able to pronounce.
It's pronounced as Acto Transito.
Yeah.
Acto Transito.
Now I request Mr. Dilip Kumar Bora sir to felicitate Lemli Luigi, General Manager, Melfi. Now I request Mr. Ravi Deka sir to felicitate Mr. Shreyans Modi sir, Director, Altri, Guwahati.
Exchange.
Now I request Mr. Shreyans Modi to felicitate Surbi Kumar ma'am, National Media Head, पर्यावरण संरक्षण गतिविधि. Lastly, I request Mr. Surbi Kumar ma'am to felicitate Nitu Saha sir, the Green Squad team, from the Green Squad team. Now I request Mr. Dilip Kumar Bora sir to start the session, and I am handing over this session to the our chair.
Our BIMSTEC region. I'll first of all request Mr. Ravi Deka to give his keynote address.
So, I think it's afternoon now. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ravi Deka, and I would like to start my address with a quote from none other than George Bernard Shaw. He goes as, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." When I was asked what I'd like to talk about, the hat which I am wearing today is that of a boat builder, or rather a maritime and a nautical solution provider, building boats from bamboo. But I said, since we are going to talk about policy, let me start go to the very foundation of it. There are enough opportunities for me to talk about my work. We have the words innovation, sustainability, and green tech thrown at us at every corner today, no matter what we do. Every product is supposed to be green, every product is supposed to be innovative, and not everywhere it is sustainability. I mean, these have become cliche words, misused to the nth degree, with very little understanding of what are the various dimensions, what not only they directly mean, but what are the various dimensions which they may have. And subsequently, the later part of my talk, it's not really a presentation, is going to be about the roadblocks. which we face in implementing new innovative technologies, and how some of the ways, charting the way ahead. Actually, I had a few question marks at the end because it's an unanswered question. It's like a question. It's open to us how we chart the way ahead. So to start with, who am I? As I said, my name is Ravi Dekla. But why am I talking about innovations? So my journey, I never knew I am an innovator till sometime in early 2001. I got a phone call from a neighborhood PCO guy. I was in my garage as usual. I just ended my career as an automotive journalist because I was not getting paid for 6 months. And then I said I was basically to chill, I was again working with my engines. So comes this call from a neighborhood PCO guy and says, 2 fellows are looking for you. Should I give them your house address? I said, which kind of fellows? Are they rough and tough? Like, I thought that I would not give any money, but then what the hell? He says, well, they are coming, but I don't like those chaps. They are saying they are from IIT Guwahati. I said, please, by all means, send them across. So these 2 people, it is not. I have just replicated somebody's name on an envelope. So started a big discourse about what is an innovation and what is an invention. They were after me to sign some form to award me with an award, and I said, no, I feel like an imposter if I do it, and I didn't do it. So that started from the neighborhood motorcycle mechanic and a tinkerer. I started, got the hat of being an innovator, acknowledged by none other than National Innovation Mission, what is the Assembly, made a booklet called Assam Innovates. And thereafter, my work has been in the world of industrial fuels to make them cleaner, how to make the dirtiest furnace oil, waste oil as clean combusting fuels. I have been working in the steel sector, optimizing their furnaces. And last 4 years, I have been involved in designing biocomposite bamboo boats. The signature thing of this entire thing, apart from my face over there, is something which you will not read from here. I don't have an engineering or a technical background. I'm a commerce graduate. So that was a stumbling block always when people were asking, you are not an engineer, and how are we supposed to take you seriously? You're working in tech. Along with my receding hairline, graying hair, and increasing bulge and audacity along with it, I start telling people that you have no problems with an IIT electrical engineer running a fintech company or distributing milk. Why do you have a problem? I have got around 30 years of hardcore manufacturing and industrial experience behind my back. I had young engineers tutored, mentored, and kicked, virtually, to teach them the ropes of applied engineering and how to solve technical problems. Why do you have a problem with something which I did 30 years back, passing out from a commerce college? So that is my background. So let's start with what is not an innovation. Some time back, there was a very highly hyped bamboo innovation contest in India. And the winner was somebody who made bamboo toothbrush. Bamboo toothbrush is not an innovation. We are the earliest in the Chinese literature, in the 15th century literature, mentions bamboo toothbrush with pork bristles. And I'm sure it was at least 1,000 years earlier that the existed innovation commercial people also. In a nutshell, an innovation is a new, better, and a more efficient way of doing things. Things which are useful things. A new, better way of dancing is hardly an innovation. It's only a great way to dance. But we are talking innovation per se is something which is useful, which is productive. So I'll just try to give the simplest example. So discovery of electricity attributed to Benjamin Franklin. And then we have the invention of the incandescent light bulb attributed to Edison, but again hardly contested. And then if we use the heat of an incandescent bulb and make it into an egg incubator, that is an innovative use of the light bulb. So you have the discovery, innovation, invention and innovation. This is a progressive line. Now we talk about sustainability. So everything today seems to be sustainable and unsustainable, and there is no arbitrary laws that determine what is sustainable. Somebody comes and says, oh, my product is very sustainable, my toothbrush is sustainable, my toothpaste is sustainable. Why your toothpaste is sustainable? Then it all becomes, and you understand, is it just branding or marketing gimmickry? Very little, anything is given why it is sustainable. Now, I have tried to give 3 different examples. Why is bamboo considered to be 6 times more sustainable than hardwood? The reason is, you don't kill a bamboo tree when you cut one of the stems. Bamboo grows very fast. Bamboo doesn't have many of the properties of other hardwood. It doesn't have a lot of the other properties of hardwood. It can replace hardwood if it is properly used. So it is sustainable because it grows faster, it doesn't kill the tree. Now, less sustainable is the tree. Yes, you can always have plant another tree, but the tree is going to take its time. A bamboo stem grows simultaneously. So it is less sustainable. Now let's talk about the unsustainable part, like the open pit mining that you can see. Now, nobody wants to see such scarring of Mother Earth as open cast mines, but unfortunately all of us is using something metallic on our body. And we cannot think of modern civilization of existing without metals. No matter how good a product is, even if you will have some nice bamboo, it is again black and white. In Goa, mining has been banned. So there have been huge pits of open cast mines lying there. Nothing is going there because that soil is not conducive for growth. But interestingly, those mines have become aquifers today, which are replenishing the groundwater levels of Goa. So where earlier water was just saying no more groundwater available because Goa has got lateritic soil, so tremendous amount of rainfall, but most of the water just drains away. These open cast mines, previously abundant open cast mines, have become aquifers which are even creating new groundwater supplies. Where areas which became completely dependent on mining, just like in Garo Hills at one point of time, which was lush with vegetation, lush with agriculture, the coal mines came, killed everything. It was easier to sell chai to a truckwala than to grow vegetables. Once that has stopped, people are going back. But unfortunately, what happens because of the acidic nature of the coal mines, those streams have been destroyed for 50 years, maybe 100 years. But at some point, Mother Nature can always replenish herself. So, what we see today as a scar, tomorrow, like in Goa, it may end up becoming a boom. So, areas in Goa where agriculture was dead and gone, people had no way out but to go to agriculture and doing it in a very good way. Why? Because there was off-season, which was earlier completely monsoon dependent. So, the 4 tests of sustainability is one, whether it is renewable or not. I mean, everybody understands that. Secondly, if it is replenishable or not. Renewable as in the sense of the tree. Replenishable as in the sense of the water table. Number 3 is whether it is dependent on external factors. You may have a product which is very sustainable but dependent on some core ingredients which comes from another part of the world. And due to geopolitical reasons or economic reasons, suddenly you don't have an access to that ingredient X of the sustainable product. And then you realize that sustainability is not there. Even though you have rest of the products, the core product is not there. So there is sustainability. And at the end of this 4 is the time frame. We tend to see things only in the immediate past, present, and the immediate future. Whereas we human beings have a very short lifespan. Mother Nature has a very, very long lifespan. So where I'd like to give 2 examples of where time frame plays a major role. So one of the biggest ecological disasters of the last century is the depletion of the Aral Sea, where due to rampant canalization of the Sindh Darya and the Amur Darya rivers in the former Soviet Union, now in the independent countries of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, the freshwater lakes Aral Sea had all but died out. Interestingly, the recent winter, as you can see, these are the two photographs which across a scale of 40 years. Now, in the dried sands of the Aral Sea, they are finding settlements which were earlier 19 meters under the water. It means at some point of time, the Aral Sea did not exist, and it was at some point of time is only 500 years back. So what we see as an ecological disaster today, because of the lake has dried up. The lake, some parts of the lake were not there even 500 years back. So the lake was created sometime in the last 500 years. Human activities have reduced it. Now Kazakhstan is increasing the flow. Uzbekistan on the other side wants to prospect for oil under that sand. They said we don't want to let it dry. We'll see later on. Similarly, the other example is that we are reading about the deforestation of the Amazon at every stage. Recently, they have found that around 12,000 square kilometers of the Amazon was earlier inhabited by people. There were signs of farming, signs of ruins, and over the last, say, 1,000 years, after 15 AD earlier, so 10,000 years, independent for 10,000 years since the 15th century AD. So again, the lush Amazon of that area grew in the last 500 years. So the time scale, but that doesn't give us human beings an excuse that we will destroy nature, slash, cut and burn, and nature will anyway replenish itself. No. But the fact remains that what we see as an immediate eco-disaster, Mother Nature tends to find a way of sorting things out and things go back to where they were. Or they may change due to factors beyond that of man. What is green tech? That's another term I have a lot of problems with. It's green tech everywhere. So, what is, somebody will make a software and say it's green tech, my phone is green, that is green. My phone is all plastic and metal, but it is green tech because the plastic I'm using inside is recycled, and ends up you get this branding, the brand themselves as green tech. My understanding of this subject is it has a minimal environmental footprint. You can never have a proper green tech. It's energy efficient, low or zero emission. Zero emission is again highly questionable because there is the emissions of manufacturing it, which is, there are emissions on the side of it. Electrical cars don't have emissions from the tailpipe. They produce up to 4 times more dust and tire pollution than the petrol engine cars because they are much heavier, they have much more brake wearing is much higher, brake dust height is much more higher variation. So that again becomes highly questionable what exactly is low emission and at the end easily recyclable. So when we come to easily recyclable, that is the biggest stumbling block of most green tech which we have today. So along with green tech, very few people talk about greenwashing. They are things that go hand in hand because the green tech PR doesn't want you to think about greenwashing because most of the green tech PR is greenwashing. So the Cambridge University report estimates that 43 million non-recyclable wind turbine blade waste globally by 2050. Today, wind energy is considered to be green energy and a renewable energy. At what cost? You have the cost of building the entire infrastructure, which is massive. And you have, I've been very personally involved in the first part. What to do with the wind turbine blades? Because they are made from thermoplastics. There is no sensible way that you can recycle them. They are today burned in cement plants. They are called as co-production, co-processing. But the very idea is there is a gate fee, processing fee of €1.5 per kilogram. and one blade weighs around 40 tons. So then you think about it, 1.5 pounds just, why is it get free? To shred it into pieces to make it burn in a cement plant. Multi-billion PR exercise by wind energy companies. Other side, we have got, we should go solar, we should go renewable. Great. What do we do with the solar panels at the end of the lines? Only thing, the recycling in India or in most of the developing countries, the aluminium and the metal is stripped and sent for recycling. Some of the glass is melted, most of it ends up going to the landfills. So by 2050, we will end up with more than 200 million metric tons of solar scrap panels. And that is given by whom? The Deputy Director of International Renewable Energy Agency. It's not something, it's not, there's an apex for all renewable energy and they say, yes, we have a problem. So, next. So anyway, when we do a green tech, think about the greenwash in a massive scale. Then we also have a cognitive dissonance as to what comprises green tech. So everybody thinks that cooler mein chai pina is like I'm doing an environmental favor. It tastes fantastic. Cooler mein chai is always better tasting than anywhere else. But what do we have when some state or area of the world says, we found our earliest settlement 15,000 years back, our village in our state had human settlement. You know what we find? We find pottery. After pottery, we find bricks. Those things, Mohenjo-daro bolo, Harappa bolo, anything beyond 1,000 years, 15,000 years before that, what we find is we find pottery. The first sign of man turning into man from an ape. First sign of manufacturing is pottery. So, आप जो कूलर से आप चाय पियोगे, first and foremost, how has it been made? Ceramics, primitive ceramics. How has it been made? आप कोयला इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो, चारकोल इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो, what is the carbon footprint of that? Secondly, once हमने तोड़ दिया, कहाँ गया? Did you ever bricks? Can you grow anything on bricks? You can crush a brick totally, but can you grow anything on a brick? No, you can't do anything on that also. So is it cooler green tech? No, cooler is not green tech. We just like it. It's good. So, when we have the paper cups, if it is from a recycled paper, you are having paper cup, it is actually much more sustainable than the cooler. I mean, it's much more rich, it's greener. आप at least कुछ तो recycle करके बनाया हो, compressed it for paper mache or whatever. Bamboo, yes. You make a bamboo cup, no matter how primitive, rustic it looks, that is probably the most sustainable of them all. So now, as I said, first half of my presentation, I would like to talk about what is green tech, sustainability and innovation. What are the barriers of adoption? First is lack of awareness. Lack of awareness, lot of our traditional products are actually green products. But somehow about it, if it is, we use it only if it is fashionable, or if it is a political statement. But tomorrow, I am saying, why not, like legislation of Arunachal Pradesh or any of our hill states, where or northeastern states where we are having bamboo. Why don't we make it as कि हमारा canteen में we are going to use only bamboo cutlery or not single use minded, but properly made, bacteria proof. I asked the bamboo toothbrush wala, what are the bactericide properties? It's a porous material. You put it in your mouth, how do you know? Ow, ow. That is the standard reply I get. Let's have a proper, well-made product. So where it is beyond our style, fashion statement, rustic statement, political statement. Yes, ये हमारा traditional item है. If South Indians can still eat on banana leaves, I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, they are proud. इनका legislation में खाना हो, you will be still on banana leaves. I mean, traditional, green. You have a stigma. With modernization comes the stigma towards using our traditional products. No existence of myopic or short-term policies. This is another part. Then you have copycat initiatives. आपका एक डिपार्टमेंट ने बोला हम ब्लॉकचेन यूज करेंगे, ड्रोन यूज करेंगे सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, तो हर डिपार्टमेंट बोला हम ब्लॉकचेन यूज करेंगे सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, ड्रोन यूज करेंगे. This time period nobody knows, but you certainly realize there is a cascading domino effect. Everybody wants to use drones, AI, and I don't know, blockchains to usher in emission reduction and green tech. Sounds good, sound bites, nothing gets done. Conflict of interest, very important part. The moment you bring in subsidies into the picture to promote something, usually the overall impact of a green technology goes for a toss. It becomes a profit thing. People bend over backwards कि हम इसको सब्सिडी पाने के लिए हम इसको ग्रीन टेक डिक्लेयर करेंगे. The moment there is a cash incentive or a subsidy to promote something, the overall picture goes for a toss. No long-term study or commitment for most of it. Lot of rehashed papers, but actually क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है, we always end up. There are a lot of questionable and conflicting figures. And lastly, most local innovations are good and not market ready. Where there is a failure on the part of institutions, there are academic institutions, quality institutions, people who can help the grassroots innovator, producer, traditional artisan. As I said, bamboo का coffee mug बनाइए, but make it proper and hygienic. The guy in the village cannot make it. He has to depend on his neighborhood vendor. उसके पास मेरे पास यही काम है. So this is where actually different organizations belonging to the government or NGO scientific organizations should help them make it market ready to give a certain polish. We are talking bamboo. Everybody in Northeast India, most of our bamboo products cannot hold a candle to the products that are coming from Vietnam. In terms of quality, in terms of the finish, in terms of if it is food greatness, why? Because their systems are working. The government-based systems are working. They are modernizing bamboo and bamboo technology. They are not just promoting it for the heck of it. The innovators' obstacles. I mean, I shudder to make anything in India. Innovator is another name for a parlor. I mean, any of the more places you go around with a village level innovator, town level innovator. I was National Innovation Foundation came to my house asking for a motorcycle parlor. Somebody else was telling me another story. I not mentioned that the gentleman was in fact today honored. So when they wanted to go to their house, people were asking उस parlor का घर में क्यों जाना है? So you have a lack of prototyping and testing facilities. Even with IITs sprouting up all over the place, engineering colleges, labs, try getting anything tested. Try getting institutional support. I have an MOU signed with IIT. I mean, it's a regular table bashing session. Why is the things not getting done? Why am I not getting my tests done? Finally, say you go and do your test yourself, we'll sign whatever you give us. If I am having this problem, imagine somebody from a small town or village trying to do something differently. What help has he got? On what level? Poor availability of components and raw materials. I have one foot in Delhi most of my time because I cannot get anything done sitting in Guwahati. I have to go to Delhi. The expense of producing one small part. I have a pretty decent workshop of my own, but I don't have a 4D axis milling machine. I need to go to Delhi to get it done. IIT Guwahati has it, but try to get it done. The tons of paperwork which I will have to get it done, forget it. It's easier for me to go to Delhi, have a beer with some of my friends and get it done and come back. It will still probably end up costing me cheaper and in terms of time. Technical mentors are rare to non-existent. Actually, rare, I'm being polite. They are non-existent. Most of the mentors which we have over here are from the academia. These are people who have never worked in practical fields most of their life. They have been in academics. They know their theory very well. They did their research, guide researchers, but technical problems. The grant mechanism, which has been a big boon, I will not criticize it. I mean, earlier, 10 years back, we could not even think about this degree of support as in grants. you have got hundreds of grants coming in. Yes, even though people negatively think that, nobody gets this grant. No. People do get these grants. I am a beneficiary of government grants. But they have this site where somebody doing, I build boats, my one boat costs 1 lakh rupees. Somebody is making something very small which may be costing 15, 20 rupees. Now, that one size fits all, the finances just don't add up. So you don't have a different approach as to, okay, this belongs to this compartment, he is compartmentalized in, say, specialized industry, deep tech, specialized tech. IT is different. I mean, handicrafts are different. But here, our entire grant mechanism is essentially bundled up and put it into just one bucket, and sort of, if you are lucky, just pick up your thing and okay, bhai, 10 lakh rupees mil gaya. Then you think, okay, I want to build a catamaran which costs 15 lakhs. Where do I manage to get my other 5 lakhs from? So this grant mechanism is extremely difficult, which really needs working on. And the limiting elements, this is my favorite. This is where any innovator, any young entrepreneur trying with an innovative idea is going to start with. First, you have got the academia. I have already talked about the academia right now, people who have all the academical knowledge and the research knowledge, very little practical knowledge. They are the people who you will find in every jury sitting there. I had one superstar, like Rajanikanth, he was also from South India, he was a startup superstar. Very big name from IIMs, who asked me, why does Assam need boards? I gave him blah, 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 Assam flood problem, non-existent river infrastructure, I mean, village people's, dependence on boards, how our bamboo composite boards are from locally available material, lowest carbon footprint. He had only one dialogue to give me. Boards are made in other states, why does Assam need boards? Nothing. Whatever I say just fell off his ears, nothing entered. They're made in other states, why they're made? I am not one to take things lightly. So I said, sir, with your view, why should people in Assam not only build boards, why should people in Assam do anything at all? We should not grow food, we should not make bricks, we should not do anything, we should just get them from other states and enjoy life. Obviously, that fellow gave me a big no. Because he gave me a big no, all our Desi Babus from our public sector undertakings, very Assamese, they are abo. Now, the way he's talked with our judge was so aggressive and so arrogant, he humiliated the judge. So for the next 3 years, there was no grants for me. And that is one example. Another example was Apex, India's body for helping, accelerator for tech startups. So we're working on a propulsion system for the armed forces, which can travel on swampy and muddy areas where people today, our Jawans, have to knee to waist deep of mud. So completely original, you have to tolerate me. So I'm almost done. So that is a unique product nowhere else in the world. So I said, this is primarily, so who's your main market? I said, there's no market per se, but the paramilitary forces badly need it. Because today they are feeding leeches and walking in the mud because of lack of alternatives. Plus it is silent. On the water body, you can hear sound from 10 kilometers across. This is like a light buzz only. You know what this genius from IIT IIM told me? He said, bring us a letter from the army or the BSF that this is in the, mind you, this is in the ideation stage. Bring us a letter in writing from the army or the BSF that they will use your products once it is in production. Then we will consider you for our incubation. So I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I have heard today. So why? I said, have you ever worked with the army? Even for their exhibition, they have something boldly written, no cost, no commitment. Even if you give a demonstration, it is at your cost. This is how the armed forces work. There is DRDO, there is Army College of Engineers, you have to pass through all that. I give them, oh good, how great an idea. Even the local collector sahab's clerk will not give me a letter in writing that he will use it. Forget about the army, what are you talking about? So, these are people from the academia who are sitting in the juries and who have this kind of another incident where I had actually asked IIT professor, I said, sir, I've been studying so far, whatever I'm talking about the innovations, you say, I failed to say innovation. I failed to say innovation. I said, sir, can you now also get up and tell me what is the definition of innovation? I mean, there was a total scandal after that. How dare he actually ask a member of the jury to stand up and define innovation? That is one. Number two is you have the bureaucracy. Bureaucracy in India is not rewarded for taking any new initiatives. They are penalized, but they are not rewarded. So as a result, any new idea, the bureaucracy finds red tape. They are inherently hostile. They are inert. They don't want to change. Why should they change? There is no reward mechanism. So many things can go back. Who is going to be answerable? Nahi, bhai, humse ho raha hai. Businesses in India are extremely risk averse. So big business is not going to support your idea. If your idea is great, they are going to pinch it. They are predatory. These are, I know names, but I have met people, intermediary, higher level people, working for some of India's top companies who have no qualms in pinching your idea. Investors, they are called as angel investors, they are called as institutional investors, everybody is looking for a fast buck. Everybody wants quick valuation, and if you are talking technology, which has got a slow incubating period, market period, so many things that can go wrong, no. No investor is going to touch something unless it's some software as a service or something where you can balloon up your valuation, give fantastic forecasts, and you may go belly up in a year or two once the money is burned out. But somehow or the other, everybody wants the approach कि पैसा मुझे double कितना जल्दी मिलेगा. You say मेरा आपका market कितना बड़ा है, adoption कितना. So if you are going into systemic areas that need a reboot and a change, most incubators or investors will not touch. Same thing is incubators and accelerators. They are focused on basically making vyaparis, entrepreneurs. Most of them are very ill-equipped to help the transition of an innovator to an entrepreneur. So remedial measures, I think we can discuss about it, no point for me to talk about it. One is policy, one is the active involvement of technical education institutes where they play an active role, not just sign memorandum of understandings, where there is sharing of resources, where students are actively involved in joint development. This is very much essential according to me. Startups also need, as I said, that grant mechanism is defective because there is no segregation. Yes, we are all startups. Anybody who starts something is a startup. But they are so different from each other. So there is a proper segregation. Impact investors. Unfortunately, most of the impact investors I've met, they fall into the same category as the ballooning valuation investors. There are one or two, but you have to search for them. Innovation is also, there is a no transparent mechanism for commercialization. That is a very, that's a lot of can be discussed on it. So what is needed in the Northeast, according to me, one is we have a lot of biomass. No matter how much we talk about renewable energy, most of our villages, the homes are heated with fire from the wood. Let's burn them more efficiently. Let's make the homes warmer by using less wood, cut less forests. So it can be better stove technology, better heater technology. The amount of hydel we go across, we only think hydel in terms of damming. Micro hydels can be used. Arunachal, every stream I pass, I always think about the electrical capacity of it. You can have them in series without disturbing the flow, without disturbing the ecology. And now with the new emerging with the technologies like LED lights, low power consumption, I think virtually every village in our hill states can be made energy sufficient. You can have, yes, you can have solar in winter, but you can have all the water just going down untapped. And it's so cost effective. So much technology work has been done. Secondly, we have in also areas in winter where we don't have water, but we have tremendous amount of fog. We have areas in Assam, in Baska area, we have Mizoram, which has got, we have Manipur, which has got regular water scarcity, but those areas have tremendous amount of fog. So there is tremendous amount of atmospheric humidity, which can be tapped. There are various technologies for it. We should work on that so that we are reliant, water is there, we just need to find how to tap it. So much food is going to waste over here. Agricultural products are going to waste. Why? Because we don't have the proper drying facilities. We don't have the proper drying technologies which are being there, which is little above grassroots technology. They can be developed by students here in Itanagar. None of these has any rocket science or computer science in them. This is almost like, I'll call it textbook science with a bit of imagination, and all of these can be achieved. Sector focus, of course, I am in water sector, so I cannot resist putting water there. But one of the reasons is, very recently I had a very, lengthy chat with the Honorable Chief Minister of Mizoram. And he says, bring your boats to Mizoram and give me training how to build the boats. I was like, sir, BIMSTEC. Where are you going to run those boats?
Sorry to interrupt. Please find out.
So he says, my entire southern Mizoram is crisscrossed with rivers, and we don't have bridges, and many of the boats are only, villages are only reachable by boats. You have got a green bamboo-based technology. Come and help us, rebuild the waterways over there. So water transport is Assam, most of our states, Arunachal only in the eastern Arunachal. You have natural fibers, you have tremendous amount of natural fibers, the diversity of natural fibers which can be created in Assam, in Northeast India, which we need to process properly. So, but we are not going beyond our silk and cotton, but there is so many other fibers which are there. Bamboo technology. So, a lot of people are talking about bamboo, but bamboo is, as I said, started off my presentation, it's not lampshades and handicrafts. Bamboo built houses. Most of our houses in Northeast India, especially in the hill areas, have very poor insulation, thermal insulation. Most of the heat goes outside. Whatever the Bukhari burns, it goes out in smoke. You can have properly insulated bamboo houses, which will last you 100 years, much more than anything else, built with modern technology. So bamboo tech should go beyond handicrafts. So, as I said, now you are free. That's my email ID. So all the criticism and hate mail and trolling, you can send it to me. Thank you very much for the patience for hearing me out.
Thank you, Ravi, for your very nice presentation. I think everyone has got a lot to learn from here. And I request Mr. Nenli Loi for his
Thank you. So, fellow panelists and some senior officials from other organizations who are present here today. And I see a lot of young audience. I guess some of you are students and some of you may be budding entrepreneurs also. And I also see in the room Mr. Uddhav Bharali. He is a grassroots innovator from Lakhimpur. In the initial years, my organization, Northeastern Development Finance Corporation, NEDFI, has also worked with him, supported him in his innovative works at the grassroots, and he has been also recognized at the national level by various awards. Welcome to the session. So I work with Northeastern Development Finance Corporation based out of Guwahati. Originally I am from this state, Arunachal Pradesh, but I am based out of Guwahati for last 25 years. We work with entrepreneurs, we support entrepreneurs, finance their projects in all the 8 states of Northeast, including Sikkim. NEDFI has financed more than 6,000-7,000 projects all over Northeast in various sectors through our various financial products like term loan or equity or venture capital So that is our premise. I have worked with entrepreneurs for more than 2 decades now. Today, we are here to talk about green business and green entrepreneurship. So, in our portfolio projects, we do have green business, which we have financed. And we work with Ministry of Development of Northeast on various projects. And we finance projects in various sectors like healthcare, education, food processing, and all kinds of projects. But green business also forms a part of our portfolio. Some of the projects which we have done, I will be talking about it a little later in our in my talk. But to start with today, I'll share some of my thoughts about green business and green entrepreneurship. Globally, we emit about 41 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. And in order to slow down the warming of our planet, at least 17 billion tons of carbon dioxide must be removed annually. The bulk of this responsibility lies on businesses, as they are the largest producers of carbon emissions. Therefore, green business practices will quite literally save our planet. Green entrepreneurship means pursuit of business whose core business model addresses an environmental or social issue. These days, you may have often heard about companies talking about triple bottom line, which is a framework used to measure whether a business has adopted sound environmental policies and practices. Essentially, the triple bottom line takes ecological and social performance seriously, building it into a 3-part organizational model that functions along 3 axes: people, planet, and profit. In other words, rather than considering only profit in measuring a business success, the triple bottom line gets companies thinking beyond money to social and environmental factors as well. Today, more and more consumers, especially in the Western world, are adopting eco-friendly behaviors and are also expecting the businesses they patronize to do the same. In a recent survey, more than 1/3 of British consumers said that they are buying products from companies with strong environmental credentials. And 84% of UK and US consumers say that a poor environmental track record would cause them to stop buying from a brand. And nearly half of consumers in those countries, UK and US, are willing to pay a premium for brands that are socially conscious. This is the changing face of consumers around the world today. Going green for businesses would mean adopting environmental friendly systems and processes in running your business and in managing the supply chain of your business. Sustainable measures are not just for big business, it is for every business. Bringing small but vital changes in your business, like reducing use of paper and going digital, advising employees in your organization to use water judiciously, using recycled furniture at home and offices, installing solar panels on the rooftops, changing your entire lighting system, using energy efficient LED lights. All these things will immensely reduce the carbon footprint of your business and make your company a green company. Just imagine if every company and household does this, how much positive impact it will have on our environment. Unfortunately, many businesses have capitalized on consumers' desire for eco-friendly products and practices, and they claim to be green without pursuing genuine sustainability efforts. Without global sustainability standards, it is easy to mislead consumers into believing that a company is eco-friendlier than it actually is. These unethical practices necessitate green certifications for businesses that sincerely want to make a difference. As more and more consumers around the world want to support sustainable businesses, green certification will help in filtering out genuine green companies from those whose sustainability efforts are doubtful. Green business certifications are beneficial to all businesses of all sizes, It saves money through efficiency improvement, builds trust with your consumers, and makes your company stand out among your competition. Summer is just around the corner, and many of you will go out to buy your air conditioners. You would have seen that in air conditioners, there is a energy rating of 1 to 5. And this is done by Bureau of Energy Efficiency on the basis of energy efficiency of that appliance. Higher the rating, the more efficient it is. So you would see that people are ready to pay more money for air conditioners which are rated higher. So green business certification also is a similar thing. It helps the companies take benefit out of their green and energy efficient practices. Along with green business, green finance is also gaining traction in the Indian economy as a crucial tool for transitioning towards net zero emissions. As one of the world's largest emitters of greenhouse gases, India requires a budget of over $10 trillion to accomplish its net zero emissions target in next 50 years up to 2070. Several measures are underway in the public and private sector, leading to increased investment and financing opportunities in projects with environmental benefits, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions, energy efficient systems, etc. As sustainability becomes imperative, there is a growing awareness of the crucial role of green finance in India's transition to net zero economy. In the international financial market, green loans are being offered with favorable terms for businesses that invest in sustainable projects. Institutional and other investors buy debt securities such as green bonds that finance environmentally friendly projects. Venture capital funds, private equity investors actively fund startups and early stage companies that focus on sustainability and reducing environmental and social impact. As the demand for green finance grows, India is expected to see more innovative financing solutions and investment opportunities in the green sector. As I mentioned to you, I work with North Eastern Development Finance Corporation, and in our portfolio of projects, we have also financed a few green businesses. And one such company is Fresh Air Waste Management Services Private Limited, which is based out of Guwahati. And they have set up this first common biomedical waste treatment facility near Guwahati. This company has tied up with 250 hospitals and diagnostic centers in and around Guwahati and Lower Assam. And they are responsible for collection, transportation, treatment, and safe disposal of biomedical waste generated by these hospitals. This company also provides solutions for liquid waste management to other companies and have supplied effluent treatment plants and sewerage treatment plants to various industries and hospitals in Assam, West Bengal, Orissa, Sikkim, and other northeastern states. According to data from Central Pollution Control Board, total plastic waste generation in the northeast is to the tune of about 50,000 metric tons annually. And this is becoming an ever-growing problem in the northeastern region. So, Netfi has financed another company called Purk Technologies Private Limited, which has set up a plastic recycling plant at Nalbari in Assam. They will specially recycle used plastic drinking water PET bottles, which are thrown all over the place and clogging the drains in many cities. This company will convert PET bottles into recycled PET flakes and reprocessed granules. These flakes and granules manufactured by it shall be food grade and can be safely used and reused to manufacture other products like kitchen containers, multi-layer films used in food packaging and food wrappers, etc. So, green businesses like this will play a major role in cleaning our environment from plastic and other hazardous wastes. So these were some of my thoughts on this subject. I will now leave it to others speakers to share their thoughts. Thank you.
एक पॉइंट कह रहा है ये जो ESG इनिशिएटिव्स यूएसए यूके, तो हमारे इंडिया में तो केवल टॉप 1000 जो NSE लिस्टेड कंपनी है उसी को ESG इनिशिएटिव्स का टारगेट है। तो इंडिया इसको अचीव करना मतलब बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट और कॉम्प्लेक्स थिंग है। जैसे यूएसए यूके में तो कंपनीज के पास टेक्नोलॉजी भी है, पैसा भी है, अवेयरनेस भी है। अब यहाँ तो आप देखिए ना, अराउंड 8 करोड़ इंडस्ट्रीज हैं एमएसएमई, उनमें 99% जो है ये ESG कुछ जानते भी नहीं, और यही मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटर है टुवर्ड्स इकोनॉमी एंड जीडीपी।
See, awareness has to increase, and more and more companies are now realizing that there is benefit to adopt green practices. And last year in the India's budget itself, also government has taken a lot of initiatives and declared incentives for companies who are going green. There are some tax incentives also. So when these things are done, slowly companies will adopt.
प्राइवेट कंपनीज को आगे आना चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट कितना सपोर्ट करे?
No, I'm saying government is giving incentives to the private companies. Some be it in public sector or private sector, it's incentive is for both.
CSR ऐसे कुछ होना चाहिए ताकि
CSR में काफी काम हो रहा है, बहुत सारा कंपनी ऑलरेडी काम कर रही है.
I think Shreyan Smoti, you turn now. Make it very, very brief because we are running out of time.
We have taken up all the time, so we don't have much time. Very brief.
Yes.
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। कोई खाना आया लैंड में डंप, इधर से हमारी गाड़ियाँ आएंगी, वो लोग खाएंगे उस पर, उसी दौरान प्लास्टिक भी खा लेंगे वो लोग, उसी दौरान खाना भी खा लेंगे, और वो फिर हम में भी आता है। ये वर्ड कि ये माइक्रो प्लास्टिक्स हमारे बॉडी में है, that can come through well, that can come through food. So point here is that stays with me, and हमने बोला कि can we do a better thing? क्या हम इसको सप्लाई चेन को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं? खाना तो अच्छा या वेस्ट नहीं हुआ। That is why you see that कि just to give a brief, I am founder of Altre. Altre means alternate resources. जो सबके लिए वेस्ट है, हम कहते हैं वो वेस्ट नहीं है। आपका वेस्ट मेरे लिए रिसोर्स है। You just have to work with that mindset. Because I spend most of the time in waste management, I am talking about the whole ecosystem of waste itself, that what's the possibility in that. So we reimagine what is called as food waste, because we do not see food as a waste. सब फूड इंडस्ट्री के लिए हेल्प करते हैं, जितना हम सर्कल्स उगाते हैं, हम इतना उगाते हैं, हम उतना ही वेस्ट करते हैं। सो इंडिया करेंटली वेस्ट अराउंड, कैन यू डू यू गाइस हैव अ नंबर कितना वेस्ट हम एवरी ईयर करते हैं? जस्ट गिव मी अ नंबर।
25%.
25%, 40%, so closer by
50%.
50%. So 1/3 of the food is wasted. If I have to quantify what is that, it's 68 million tons of food. 68 million tons of food, and then we say that there's hunger, there's no food for animal, there's growing cost, and that 68 million tons of food is approximately 50,000 crore. So that's the economical loss as well. I'll be talking lots about here money and businesses, because I believe that through entrepreneurship we can solve a very critical problem as well. So at Altre what we do is that we repurpose all the surplus food and give it to our next best consumer after human being, that is animals. Currently India sees a deficit of 36%, and we as a northeastern state, we are heavily dependent on other states to get our raw materials, right? यहाँ पर हमारे पास है नहीं, हम बोलते लाइफ स्टॉक को बढ़ाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, तो हम खाना ही वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, हमारे पास है नहीं। So what we thought is that आसाम में, we are based out of Assam, we are so much dependent, हमारे पास food resources है, हम वेस्ट करते हैं, then we grow more. So we thought this solution is very much applicable for Assam, for Northeast. When we focus on green entrepreneurship for this region, we also have to see the pain points that we have to solve here for a larger audience. And जो हमारा problem बड़ा है, multi-dimensional. So we came up with this. I can discuss this about this with everyone on one-to-one. एक और डेटा मैं पूछूंगा, how much इसका और consequences क्या है? Can you guys just guess how much water is used in making 1 kg of wheat, rice or any food grains? Just give me one thing. One number. So for growing 1 kg of wheat, it is approximately 900 liters of water used. For growing 1 kg of rice, 2,500 liters of water used. So wheat हमने उगा लिया, उसका हमने bread बनाई. For making bread, we spent 1,600 liters of water. So every ounce of food that we waste, we just waste all the resources being deployed for that. That is my motivation, that we have to respect all the resources that we have, human, money, natural resources and everything. And that is why we are so much passionate about what we are doing, because खाना ही सबको, रोटी कपड़ा मकान चाहिए, खाना नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं है. So that is what we are trying to do. Regarding green entrepreneurship, I will be talking very two basic things. Sir already have touched on one of our point. I'll just read that again. And that is a baseline for all green entrepreneurship, I believe, and that is how we fall in our startup as well. So general businesses focus on what? It's people, process, and product, right? And profit to baseline of the business. Social enterprise thinks beyond this. It's about people, it's about planet, it's about profit, and that means it's a green entrepreneurship. It's not green NGO or social NGOs. Because we cannot depend on the funds coming to us to execute impact projects. And that will be slow, impact गया, funders आएंगे, पैसे देंगे तो हम काम करेंगे, वरना हम नहीं करेंगे. That is why I really love the fact of green entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship, where we marry the impact and the business. And why we need profits? To impact our skills, to innovate, to put more money in innovation. So हम वही focus कर रहे हैं. So people bottom line जो sir ने बोला, it's people, planet and profit. People about taking ethical code of conduct, also about who are the beneficiaries. अगर हम ये food बना रहे हैं, reprocess करके animal feed में डाल रहे हैं, how much it will help the farmers as well. We go to that extent. It's not about what we are replacing. So you have to think on that grounds अगर आप business करना चाहते हो. About planet, how much impacts of carbon footprints are you saving or making? आप green business कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब नहीं है कि आपका carbon footprint नहीं है. You are just saving some. And you have to monitor that. And profit, of course, you have to generate so that you can largely make impacts. And why I am saying this, because do not come with a notion. यहाँ पर बहुत young लोग हैं, very young लोग, बहुत सारे IT के students हैं. जैसे सर ने बोला innovate तो कर लेते हैं, market में ले जाने में ही नहीं होता. So it is about a problem that we are solving for people, for planet, and for making profits. Next, Amit. So this is a core principle that I believe in, and everything fits here. आप कुछ भी करो. आज आपका एक green business है. Classic example, lithium ion battery. It came as a green product, amazing thing. It's becoming a headache for us now. What after that? उसको recycle कैसे करें? So generally अभी हम लोग follow करते हैं linear take, make, break and dispose. ठीक है? हमारे आंखों से गया काम खत्म. But the classic flow should be a circular one, which I would say अगर सबको पैसा समझना है, this brings more profit to your company if you utilize all your resources very well. Because हमारे पास resources ज़्यादा नहीं है, we have to utilize. If this food we do not upcycle and make it to feed, we have to generate more food. Do we have land masses? No. Do we have enough money? No. Can we grow more food? No. We have to capitalize on the resources that we have already made. And green entrepreneurship is all about that. When you make things, you also have to see that what is the use case, what is the recyclability, how do we utilize resources again and again. Lastly, I will repeat one more fact. सब जीन्स पहनते हैं. आप लोग घर पे रिसर्च करके बस देखना कि एक जीन्स को बनाने में, एक कपड़ा को बनाने में कितना पानी खर्च है. And fast fashion is the biggest thing. So green entrepreneurship is not only about organic, making green product. It's also about taking care of other impacts or negative impact you are creating. With this, there are different challenges that we can talk throughout our panel discussion. I'll sign off from here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good.
या आप ये सब मेयर्स की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है, कमिश्नर्स की कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है, यहाँ पर एक बार करवा दीजिए. आई होप हिंदी ठीक है ना? आई नो मणिपुर में. मूविंग ऑन, ये तो हाथ खड़ा कर देंगे. सेकेंड लेवल इज द MSME टाइप ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. दीज आर द एक्चुअल बिजनेसमैन जो आप बोल रहे थे इंडस्ट्रीज के बारे में. ESG की तरफ मत देखिए. That's a very Western, Eurocentric. हम यूरोप को कॉपी करेंगे, वेस्ट को कॉपी करेंगे. अपने इंडिया की जो चीज़ें हैं, जो अपनी इंडिजिनस चीज़ें हैं, जिसको हम बोलते हैं जुगाड़, हमको उसको लेकर बड़ा करना है. Let's become नॉर्थ ईस्ट फोकस्ड. लेंगे यहाँ की टेक्नोलॉजी, यहाँ की चीज़ें और बेचेंगे बाहर. एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ. Do you know the color indigo, like how we dye? One of the most polluting industries is the dyeing industry, textile. Like I think 1800s and 1900s, I forgot the year. Indigo was a big thing in India. It was a exporting thing. Europe put a ban. Europe या Italy, भूल गई मैं. Put a ban on indigo dyeing from India, and they replaced it with chemicals. Their chemicals, and that became the norm. Like there was an actual ban on the way India's indigo dyeing was being done, which was natural. We need to just remember how that indigo dyeing was being done in India, and I'm sure the tech still exists, and bring it back to what you were talking about, sir, to our MSMEs. And that's just one example. ऐसे बहुत सारे हैं जिसमें हम MSMEs को बढ़ावा दे सकते हैं. And अब तो हमारे यहाँ पर एयरपोर्ट और रेलवेज भी खुल गया है, तो फिर आई थिंक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन से MSME की रिलेटेड स्टफ, especially जो अभी तक बात हुई है, bamboo is the, I feel bamboo is something that can take Northeast to $1 trillion economy in the next few years. And if not, every state, all the 7 sisters, individually into $1 trillion economy in the next decade. If we focus on bamboo. Bamboo के कितने products हैं, अभी हमने आपको सिर्फ 1 या 2 देखे हैं. All over India जो wooden के plants लगते हैं on the flooring, that is being made from bamboo coming from China. हमको China का products नहीं चाहिए. Vietnam is a great example, for Vietnam is more craft-like. China is what we are using for engineering. Yes, we just need to bring that tech. और टेक कोई डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, जैसे सर ने बोला बहुत इजी सिंपल टेक होता है. हमको ये सर बैठे कि आपको फाइनेंसिंग दिलवा देंगे, आप उसके इंडस्ट्रीज लगाएंगे. Third type, which is my heart because I've been an entrepreneur and currently I'm in the connected to the VC and angel investing space, are startups. Startups में तो आपके पास इतनी ज़्यादा opportunities हैं. जो आप मेरी विलेज लेवल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की बात करें, आप वहाँ की टेक्नोलॉजी लेकर यू कैन स्केल इट अप. यू जस्ट नीड टू स्केल इट अप. और वो स्केलिंग कैसे करेंगे? फॉर दैट अगेन वी नीड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट, अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ एक्सपोजर. मे बी कुछ IIM की इंक्यूबेटर्स को हम यहाँ बुला सकते हैं. IITs के अगर हम यहाँ पर प्रोफेसर्स हैं तो हम कोलैबोरेशन से बच्चों को दिखा सकते हैं या एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को दिखा सकते हैं. We need that collaboration और the exposure. Without exposure, हम innovate करके बैठ जाएंगे पर scale up नहीं कर पाएंगे. Some opportunities again I'll talk about. Waste management is one of the biggest opportunities in India right now. Indore as an example, the entire municipality has done it so perfectly. They started segregation at home. Right now they are targeting 16 or 17 different types of segregation at home. So we can have chota entrepreneurs who can then report, of course, under the municipality or the village panchayat. And that segregated waste is money. It's all gold. यहाँ पर सर बैठे ही हैं, इनको बेच रहे हैं ना, कूड़े से पैसा बना रहे हैं, राइट? हम क्या कहते हैं उसको? हाँ, कूड़ा गोल्ड कुछ ऐसे का. Yes, waste to wealth. Yes, correct.
Waste to value added.
Waste to value, waste to wealth. It is a lot of money that is going literally in landfills if we are not able to monetize it. Plastic and किसी ने हाथ खड़ा तो नहीं किया, कर दिया, sorry. Okay. Waste, water, renewable energy. I know Arunachal Pradesh is putting up a lot of plants. I think 8,000 crores का आपका revenue आने वाला है. That's extremely important. Organic farming is a huge opportunity. and aggregators. अगर आपको कुछ नहीं आता है, आप एक एग्रीगेटर बन जाइए, विलेज लेवल से सामान उठाइए एंड आप आगे एग्रीकल्चर का बना सकते हैं, एग्रीगेटर बन सकते हैं. Last few and then I'll stop. Architecture, green architecture as an example. जब हम यहाँ बैठे थे, मैम ने बोला था बहुत गर्मी है यहाँ पर, स्टफी लग रहा है. Why is it that it's such a beautiful state जहाँ पर इतना अच्छा weather है, pollution भी नहीं है, do we need an AC sitting here? They currently need architectural buildings, don't need that. And we are also wasting concrete and steel in it, which is one of the largest contributors of greenhouse gases, as Sir had mentioned. Design is an important part. I saw a lot of art students here. Design is an extremely important part. हम simple bamboo की glasses बना के नहीं बेच पाते हैं because it's not aesthetically appealing. So अगर आप में से कोई design या art के students हैं, there are companies that have been funded like $20 million just because उनके designs अच्छे थे. Third last point, carbon credits market. We can actually bring in, as a state, we can bring in a lot of money for ourselves because we are already carbon negative. 80% हमारा land coverage अरुणाचल में अगर forest है, then we can get carbon credits. We can utilize that, monetize that, and वो पैसा किसके पास जाएगा? सब entrepreneurs के पास जाएगा. We need research. जो research students यहाँ पर बैठे हैं, the reason we need research is अगर आपने अभी तक की presentation सुनी है, most of them are based in London में क्या हो रहा है, यूरोप में क्या हो रहा है, US में क्या हो रहा है. इंडिया के consumers क्या चाह रहे हैं, इंडिया के लोग क्या चाह रहे हैं? Where is that? Without that, जो entrepreneurs हैं, they are not able to sell their products. Without having market knowledge, they are not able to go out and say कि अच्छा, this is a industry which is $200 million worth, or this is an industry which is $500 million worth. Right? We need that market research. We need research to be able to come to innovation also. And lastly, one last opportunity I will talk about is green certification, जो सर ने बोला था. I think that's a fantastic, humongous opportunity. And that's my last one.
Thank you very much.
We have achieved zero waste in one of the villages of Arunachal Pradesh in East Siang district. It's called the Civil Village. It is the only certified zero waste village of India, government certified zero waste village of India. And हम लोग ये काम को actually we registered in 2020 जब सब कुछ बंद था, and we had the time. But then we have been working. Niku and me have been working for he's been working for last 8 to 9 years. I've been working for like 5 to 6 years together. And moving forward, we'll just since it's a brother. So, since we do not have much time, I'll just quickly go through it. हम लोग को सबको पता है what is the problem. The problem is solid waste because जो खाना वाला कचरा है, जो मतलब the wet waste that gets dissolved. We all know that. But the plastic, like he said, my colleague said, it is in microbial, in the micro points where it's being passed on from mothers to their children. Now, हम लोग दूध भी पीते हैं तो it's laced with plastic. So I'll not go through the entire slide, but हम just एक discussion करेगा कि how we can probably work on it. Like he said, Indore, ma'am said, Indore is working, doing an excellent job doing the segregation at home. So what we are doing is we go out to our villages. We have taught people how to segregate waste at home. So we are mostly working with women. In Arunachal Pradesh, we have something called SHGs, self-help groups. So these are mostly women. जो 7 women होते हैं उनमें, मतलब minimum 7 women is required to form an SHG. And उसके बाद we tell them because they are the homemakers. So उनसे हम लोग शुरू करते हैं कि ma'am, this is the thing. आप घर में ही प्लास्टिक को आप अलग कर दो. So we have something called magic bag, which is मेरा president का innovation है. Magic bag. Brother, can you please switch the slides? Just go forward, please. Forward, please. Again. Once more. Couple of slides more. Yeah, back. Right. So this is ये तो just एक plastic का bag है because we do not have the photograph right now. So I just quickly made something like that. But then magic bag is what we do. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हम लोग हर एक घर में एक बैग देते हैं, which is usually made out of jute. And हम लोग उन लोग को the woman हो जो है उनको हम लोग बताते हैं कि kindly segregate the solid waste right then and there. Kitchen में ही कर दो आप लोग. And there are जैसे हमारे बस्ती से लोग all the places, the commercial areas, इसमें हम लोग ने जितने भी दुकानदार हैं, उन लोग भी बोल के रखा है कि anybody comes, takes out the पान मसाला का packet, you ask them, please kindly वहीं में dump करके चले जाओ. So something like that. So हम लोग roots में काम कर रहे हैं and we are doing it alone. We have been working with Pasighat Municipal Corporation since last 4 years. We take care of the entire solid waste management. और thank you. और थोड़ा सा. These are the ways how we do it. We have right now somewhere close to 25,000 people associated with us. Approximately 170 self-help group from East Siang district. We have around 18 villages, जो almost zero waste है in East Siang district. And of course, Siluk village is already there, जो मतलब it's been the only certified village of India. And ये बहुत छोटा सा step से शुरू हुआ था, like you said. Siluk village was known as the dirtiest village of Arunachal Pradesh. बड़ा भाई बेगिया मिलन सोना जानता है कैसे करके it was how it was earlier मतलब it was literally called the गोबर बस्ती of Arunachal Pradesh because क्या होता था कि वहाँ में जो cattle है क्योंकि Siluk is in a more like a talhati wala area, yeah, not plain part. So there are a lot of cattle, there's a lot of pigs. So pig rearing and cattle से ही लोग चलते थे. तो it was a needy caudal मतलब एक समय ऐसा था. So we made people change. There is one brother called Mong Borang, वो हमारा SSC का president है. So we went to each and every household. We made village committees called development committees, and we asked them to enforce that to people. And tell them कि चलो ठीक है, these are the waste management practices you need to follow. आपको अगर आपके पास कोई cattle है, then you need to rear them in a different place. It cannot be roaming around in the village areas. And right now जो हम लोग का जो medical छोटा सा medical dispensary है Siluk. So last 2 years में वहाँ में कोई आदमी नहीं गया apart from छोटा सा मतलब कट गया उस bandage करने के लिए something like that. So we do not have even sick people in our villages right now, and especially in our entire area. So Veda, thank you so much for calling us. If you want to know anything about us, please do reach us. We are available on social media as well. Bro, can you go to some more slides? Forward, please. Forward. Yeah, you're going back to the second. Yeah. So we also, since थोड़ा सा 2 slides back. Alright. So first stage and second stage सर लोग ने बात कर ही लिया था. I mean segregation part and how we can work. Third stage में हम लोग जो when we think of like we need to run our organization, so we thought how can we make it sustainable. So we reached out to one guy from Meghalaya, Joy. His name is Freeman. Can't pronounce his title. So what he does is he makes fuel at home. उनको Indian Oil के लोगों ने भी आके reach out किया था because he's been gathering plastic. He has like a container at his own workshop. He's a welder, actually fabricator. So he made his own machine जिसमें वो plastic डालता है. हाँ, pyrolysis of course. So pyrolysis technique से वो उसको वो करता है. So we are trying to work with that fella, and we are trying to tell all the people of especially IMC in Itanagar and Pasighat municipal because Arunachal only has 2 municipalities. एक council है, एक corporate है. So what we are trying to tell them कि अगर आप लोग trommel जो आप लोगों ने already set up करके रखा हुआ है, so once that segregated waste comes, just don't show it to another landfill, मतलब ना. That's what is happening. So you send this plastic to us and give us a little bit of financing. हमारे पास technical expertise है, and this guy has been doing it and running his own jeep. वो मतलब अपना fuel पेट्रोल पंप से नहीं लेता, he just puts his own fuel on his jeep and वो घूम रहा है मतलब. So we can do that as well. So this way, such innovations are much required, and people like you should, like IITs and the rest of the dignitaries like you guys should help us come up with such innovation and do help us with solving the problem of plastic. All right. So anything if you guys want to ask, I'm right there. And with that, thank you so much. I'll just wrap it up. Thank you.
फिर ये अगर हो गया तो जूट या कॉयर की रोप और हमारा ये बाम्बू और कंक्रीट में बिठाकर मैं पूरा इसका क्रैश बैरियर में कन्वर्शन करूँगा और इस पर रिसर्च करके कोई सर्टिफाई करके मुझे देगा तो 4,000 करोड़ की ये रिक्वायरमेंट हो सकती है.
For many decades, the world has seen highway crash barriers made up of cement and metal. Inspired by the vision of Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, Bhavya Srishti Udyog has developed this unique product, Kuch Kavach, a crash barrier made out of bamboo.
Now, just 8 days before, you have a big presentation related with the crash barrier in bamboo. It was successfully tested already in Indore by our government institution and certified. The company who has already taken the patent of this is from Chhattisgarh.
New age of sustainability has dawned with the advent of Kuch Kavach, the world's first bamboo crash barrier, an innovation by Bhavya Srishti Udyog, Chhattisgarh. Kuch Kavach was tested at NATRAX, Indian Government's Testing and Certification Center, under NATRIP, a flagship project of the Ministry of Heavy Industries. The test took place as per European testing standards. Test 1. A 900 kg light vehicle with a speed of 100 km per hour was to hit the crash barrier at a 20-degree angle. Test 2. A 10,000 kg heavy vehicle with a speed of 70 km per hour, which is to hit the crash barrier at a 15-degree angle. Kuch Kavach passed the test successfully and met all guidelines of Ministries of Road Transport and Highways, IRC and NHAI norms for crash barriers. A historic result for sustainable technologies and a new innovation in the field of crash barriers. Kuch Kavach in comparison with conventional crash barriers. Costing. Kuch Kavach's cost is at par with conventional barriers, having an equivalent lifespan. Raw material. While conventional barriers are made from raw material which need to be mined and are limited, Kuch Kavach is made from bamboo, which can be cultivated extensively and as per demand. Manufacturing processes of conventional crash barriers require high energy and big investment in plants, whereas manufacturing of Kuch Kavach requires less energy and needs smaller decentralized plants. Production of conventional crash barriers has higher emission than bamboo plantations. These plantations also emit oxygen to keep the environment clean.
ये भी सच है कि एक्सीडेंट बहुत होते हैं क्रैश बैरियर पहले लोहे के लगते थे. मुझे बताते हुए खुशी मैंने इसी समारोह में जवाब दिया था कि अब बाम्बू के क्रैश बैरियर बन गए और आसाम से जो बाम्बू है उसके अंदर अनेक जगह कुछ इको फ्रेंडली बाम्बू क्रैश बैरियर बना रहे जिसमें आदिवासी और किसानों को काम मिलेगा. सबसे पहले मैं गणेश वर्मा जी को आप सबकी ओर से और मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ, शुभेच्छाएं देता हूँ. कोई भी आउट ऑफ बॉक्स आइडिया को प्रूव करने के लिए और लोगों का समर्थन दिलाने में बहुत समय जाता है, एनर्जी जाती है, क्योंकि आउट ऑफ बॉक्स बातों को लोग विश्वास नहीं रखते. और इसलिए स्वाभाविक रूप से नीड बेस्ड रीजन बेस्ड रिसर्च with economic viability and proven technology and availability of raw material and marketability. ये चारों बातों को साथ में लेकर ये सक्सेस स्टोरी बन सकती है। मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि ये जो गणेश जी ने तैयार किया है इसकी डिमांड बहुत है। तुम्हारे में और तुम्हारे जैसे 1000 लोगों में जितना दम होगा उतना बनाओगे तो भी डिमांड खत्म नहीं, क्योंकि हजारों किलोमीटर है।
Kuch Kavach is made out of bahubali, an innovative new composite material made out of bamboo by Bhavya Studio. It's made using carefully selected bamboo. It's treated with vacuum pressure impregnation to protect from fungal, termite and boral infestation, and is coated with high-density polyethylene to enhance mechanical strength and make it all-weatherproof. BSU, the maker of Kuch Kavach, is inspired by Madhya Darshan co-existentialism propounded by Sri A. Nagaraj. BSU aspires to play a role in creating sustainable technologies where human prosperity can be achieved while preserving nature.
Thank you for watching this. So, any of the presentations, please.
Sir, specifically for your presentation, so many congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's a brilliant, this is a brilliant initiative. And so, is there any specific type of bamboo that you use for this?
It's mainly for Bambusa balcoa, what is commonly known in Assam as Golukaba, with a certain specifications like thickness and diameter. So, the 10 inch plus can be good. And the thickness has to be, the wall has to be good, because ultimately it's going to play, its strength will play a role in the whole. So that's it. So we need that kind of bamboo in 1,000 tons per day for this plant which we are setting up in Rogai.
Just one more question, sir. This because we know that bamboo, after years it's going to get degraded. So is some treatment that is being done which is going to, like you mentioned in your presentation also, that it is as sturdy as the other material that is being used?
Yeah, that is the process actually, through which is treated. And then obviously it increase the life up to 25-30 years of life it can have, which is like steel only. But only thing what we are doing is basically guiding that you are going to replace steel. That is a sustainable material which can be grown easily by the farmers. And the farmers ultimately gets very good. And we are also doing another thing, because I'll tell you one more thing. See, when you produce, if you use 1,000 tons of bamboo, out of that only 250 tons will go for the bamboo crash material. Still we have 750 tons of bamboo as waste, which we are going to convert to biochar, which can be used in turn for soil improvement and other such things. And also this process, which is called pyrolysis, will generate bamboo vinegar. So that can be used as natural weedicide and fungicide. So we are already trying something with the Tatas for the tea gardens. The trials are going on, and hopefully we will succeed in that also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I would like to ask.
Near Bangalore, which can mature in 3 years, but minimum say 3 years.
Minimum 3 years.
Yes. Thank you.
Because accordingly the finance is required. Because the gestation period is larger.
Yeah, right now people are not growing bamboo in that commercial scale. Okay. Whatever bamboo is being grown is going for the paper pulp, and something is going to our factory in Chhattisgarh also, which is not a big quantity. But we are having problems sourcing the bamboo because it's not available easily. That's a big logistic challenge. But I think once this demand comes, people will be incentivized to grow more bamboo, and it's easily grown because you don't need too much of effort to grow bamboo, right? Once you grow it, it will be there till it flowers, right? Thank you.
वहाँ पे मेरे विलेज है, वहाँ की जो वोमेन्स है ना, तो वो लोग कल्टिवेट करते हैं सब लाइक लोकल फूड्स लाइक याम, कुछ भी लोकल होता है तो उसको वो लोग बेचते हैं. देन उनका पर केजी लाइक 20 रुपीज़ 25 विलेज में. फिर वो मार्केट में आके इट कॉस्ट लाइक 150 180 हो जाते हैं. तो हाउ टू कंट्रोल इट ना, कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगे उसको? मतलब आई एम आस्किंग यू आल्सो, यू कैन आल्सो गिव अ सजेशन टू कंट्रोल इट ना.
corruption कंट्रोल नहीं करना है. That is just normal market economics. कि आपके जो creators होते हैं at the grassroots level, so कम value होगा, then you add up, वही कहते हैं value added tax. तो फिर थोड़ा value करेंगे, वो market में बेचेंगे at the city level, फिर वो बाहर जाकर किसी और state को बेचेंगे. So control नहीं करना है बिल्कुल भी. In fact आप उसको capitalize कीजिए. आप देखिए आप उसमें aggregator कैसे बन सकते हैं, वो चीज़ें लेकर आप कैसे कहीं और जाकर बेच सकते हैं.
Around the world, because I have been very deeply sort of studying, you can say, two fields. One is water generation from the air in areas which are dry and arid areas, and in ultra micro hydro projects around the world. There's been an example कि जब तक NGO देखता है, many of these projects and technologies have been brought in by European NGOs to different parts of the world, whether it is in South America, whether it is in Nepal. The NGO comes and sets up the equipment. NGO gives training. Till the NGO guys hanging around there, until the NGO pays the person who's trained to maintain the equipment, everything runs. पानी भी आता रहता है, करंट भी जनरेशन होता है. The day the NGO says 5 साल हो गया, हमने लगा दिया, everything is working, you know how to repair it, guys, it's your show. Within 6 months time, band. Suddenly people who love to bring that water, fresh water coming down from the, it's like dews, collected dews on the morning. The electricity का जो उसको light जलाता है, suddenly it becomes nobody's business. Then political influence also comes in. जब तक ये चलेगा तो हमारे यहाँ बिजली का लाइन लगेगी सरकार, तो उसको चलाना ही नहीं चाहिए. Because if the सरपंच is saying I am supporting this project, his biggest rival will say इसलिए तो हमें बड़ा बिजली का लाइन नहीं आ रहा है. We have to do it 4 hours a day of this electricity. So community, only when a community who is the beneficiary takes ownership of a certain project, as in your successful case, waste, electricity, water, projects can be successful only when the community says, yes, we are the beneficiaries. हमें ये करना है. Once upon a time, I was in a seminar like this, I was a very young person like you, with somebody who was an old veteran from Arunachal Pradesh. He was a NEFA official. He said people from the villages used to get together to clear the landslide, saying this road is for us. Sarkar has built for us. We should get together and clear the rubble and the landslide because we are the beneficiaries. Today it has become the other way around. So that is how, communities should wake up, whether we are in the hill states or anywhere, we may be in Chhattisgarh, in Assam or in the mountain areas, कहीं में भी, कि जो कुछ local innovative green tech which we are doing, proper green tech, not greenwash green tech, we have to take ownership. We have to take ownership of the product. It's not only energy. If it is handicraft, we should take up ownership also in producing a great quality. So when the community, that is, I feel as you are the new young leaders with a track record, you should also spread the same idea that only when the community takes matters into their own hand, only they will be successful. So once again, my heartfelt congratulations and appreciation.
Yes. Hello. I have just a small point to make. In Ravi's presentation, of course, his presentation was very frank. He spoke about a lot of things, but some of the gloomy picture also he painted. But for startups and innovators, things are improving actually. It is not as bad as what Ravi was talking about, some of the instances. Because, see, last year, startups in India raised $27 billion in startup funding and private equity funding. And not very far within Northeast also, if your product idea is good, there is no dearth of capital, there is no dearth of money, because See, I sit, we have Northeast Venture Capital Fund, and we have this 100 crore fund is there. Then we have a NRL Ideation Angel Fund with Netfee and NRL together. So I sit on the investment committee of these venture capital funds, and I listen to young entrepreneurs making presentations about their ideas, requesting for funding. So what we see is your idea should be scalable. There are so many ideas, some businesses, but to get money out of venture capital, idea should be scalable in the sense if proper support is given, it should have the capability to grow up to a certain level, because they are taking a risk on your idea, and at the later stage, if they see that there is potential for this idea to grow into a very big business, then only they will support you. Otherwise, they will not take that risk on your idea. I just want to. So that is the thing. So if your idea is good, they will definitely fall behind you. So that's one. And Surabhi mentioned about carbon credit. I just want to share a little information. Very interesting project which is going on in Meghalaya, one of the northeastern states. So this AstraZeneca, you must have heard about this pharma major during our COVID times. So this is the pharma company which has developed the Covishield vaccine, which most of you have taken. So they are doing a project in Meghalaya, almost $71 million they are spending. They will be planting 64 million trees over a period of next few years, and regenerating the wasteland. The project is called Meghalaya Reforestation and Sustainable Livelihood Project. There's a local society called Hill Farmers Shiitake Mushroom Farming Society. So when this forest is raised and wasteland is regenerated, ultimately they are going to get carbon credit for next 30 years out of this project. So it is definitely a social project, but there is income also, economic benefit is also there. So that's what I was talking about, going green, and it's not that just you, there is no economic, you can make money out of going green also. So just when she was mentioning about carbon credit, this thought came to my mind. So just great job you guys are doing, Green Squad. Actually, this is what is required today. Actually, segregation of waste is, and I think you should work with bigger municipal corporations. See, definitely work in Pasighat, but you should take your ideas to places like Guwahati, which is a metro city now, and the problem is huge there. Because segregation of waste, some of you will be knowing that in Japan, the first thing that toddlers are taught is how to segregate waste. So in their kindergarten schools and in primary classes, more than anything else, segregation of waste is one of the most important things that is taught to the children in Japan. So that is what is required. Then waste management becomes much easier. So I think that you should take your idea to bigger municipal corporations in the Northeast. Yeah, that's one small thing which I wanted to mention. And few things are there, but since there is time is less, thank you very much.
Thank you.
How bamboo design is Bali in Indonesia. They have beautiful designs, very stable structure they make. You Google and see what kind of lovely structures they make. Northeast is also doing in some way, but Marka is definitely Bali, Indonesia. Bamboo floorboards you are mentioning, it is already happening in Northeast. At least there are 3-4 companies who are making bamboo floorboards. What we earlier we used to see in China, Thailand and all, those things are being manufactured in Northeast now, out of bamboo. Bamboo timber also, one company is doing in Tripura. So that's about.
We want to build boats when they are built in other states. Happened to be the chief judge of NRL, ideation stage 1. And the second ideation, they did not even, first time at least they had the courtesy to invite me. The second one, they didn't even invite me. After that, the project got the support of European Union, International Bamboo Rattan Organization, and Food and Agriculture Organization. So, I mean, this is all technical support, no money. Now coming down to raising money, the word startup has become synonymous to aisa kitna uthaya. I mean, everywhere, I mean, oh, okay, I'm not into money, I am into solving a problem. Yeah. How much money have you raised? But you are in which stage? Your seed, pre-seed, first round? Bullshit. I am an innovator, I am trying to make a revolution in the waterways with a sustainable product and an affordable product. Why does it always come back to funding? Funds kitna uthaya? So yes, काफी लोगों ने funds उठाया, I completely agree with you. But I mean, there is also results and results we can have in terms of new technical green innovation. I mean, helping people out with funds, entrepreneurs, yes. What is the long-term green impact, sustainability impact? That I think time will relate.
Any more questions?
One.
So we are a travel tech startup based out of Guwahati who has been integrating travel and carbon financing. So policy making for community facility building so that carbon offset programs can be implemented across this micro entrepreneurs so that carbon financing and carbon credit जो हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं that can empower the small micro level entrepreneurs at green tourism level. So that is my first question, and the second question is what kind of support and what is the support mechanism that a startup like us can approach in terms of research or in terms of community that can help us build up this thing.
There is a separate session on carbon.
This is afternoon.
Afrin is there. He will be there to explain to you everything. I think much more competently. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Startup
And also
बता देंगे आप MSME. I'm from MSME department.
Yes, sir.
So, good enterprise. Today, capital is not a problem. You will definitely.
We'll be happy to say
Thank you.
Netflix has been
Now we
supporting
have
us.
a book launch called Biological Synthesis of Inorganic Nanoparticles and Their Applications by Dr. Siddharth Singh, Indira Iyer and K. Deepa. So please do. It's available on? It's available on the image. So it basically talks about, I think, nanoparticles and their applications. This is something new which is coming up, I think, in a big way. Thank you. Now we look at the, see, we had a panel discussion. Now we will have to summarize with some recommendations from the panelists. What we should consider as the recommendation.
NSS units, and NSS indeed provides
Thank
ample
you.
opportunity to reach to the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
thank
this is your work with you guys. You would love it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now I think recommendation wise,
We start with them.
yeah.
I think this is extraneous because already some recommendations are there. To summarize bamboo economy, I feel investment into green, a lot more investments into green. On all other organizations, NSS, in some case. Capacity building, skill development, patenting वालों को भी बुला लीजिए, and एक last station environment diplomacy होती है कुछ, जैसे water diplomacy होती है इसराइल की, वैसे environment diplomacy करके हम थोड़ा बढ़ा सकते हैं. So Israel has something called water diplomacy. They created a lot of tech around water. For example, drip irrigation has come out of Israel. Sea water से पानी निकालना has come out of Israel. The two flush system that we have, half flush and that, has come out of Israel. So they used all of this and went to other countries except India. India में सिर्फ एक जगह है जहाँ पे everywhere else as a means to get into the country, and that was water diplomacy. So I feel if Northeast we are able to take the tech, the indigenous tech of Northeast, we can develop Northeast little more as a brand value. So Northeast brand will become even bigger. अभी क्या है बहुत सुंदर है हम घूमेंगे eco tourism है, but the value of Northeast is so much more than this. As I said, $1 trillion economy for every single state of Northeast is absolutely awesome.
Few things. One is definitely providing some kind of fiscal incentives to companies for going green, green practices within their own companies, and there are ways to calculate carbon footprint. Actually, in the net also you will see that there are formulas available, how much energy you are consuming, and so based on those, some fiscal incentives can be given. Creating awareness is also one of the things which is very much essential now, because many enterprises and individuals are not aware of what is happening. Then supporting organizations like Green Squad, what they are doing about various initiatives like waste segregation and other things, which will help in reducing the greenhouse emissions. Then since we are talking about Northeast Green Summit, so one of the nodal agencies in Northeast is NEC, actually, Northeastern Council, which, because they look after the entire Northeast, it's a policy and planning body. So probably NEC can create a portal where all the green initiatives that are happening in the Northeast. See, the thing I mentioned about AstraZeneca's project in Meghalaya, many of you have not known, right? So things like this can be shared there, so that people learn from each other about various individuals and companies which are taking green initiatives in the Northeast. They can be posted there, so that people create awareness, people learn from each other. So then the community will grow. So these are some of the things which.
हम अपना स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग को अगर रेस नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा ऐसा कोई बनना नहीं चाहता है। लिटरली बताऊँ, मैं एक ट्रक लेके मैं गार्बेज उठाता हूँ तो मुझे मतलब आगे में तो वाह इंजीनियर कचरा उठा रहा है और पीछे में क्या बोलते हैं, कचरा का काम चालू कर दिया, क्या पढ़ाई किया है, राइट? वो मतलब डिमोटिवेट करता है आपको, लेकिन आपको खुद से मोटिवेट होना पड़ेगा कि ये चीज़ मुझे करना है, इसके लिए स्टैंड लेना है। अगर हम स्टैंड ले पाएंगे तो हम कर सकते हैं। इट्स जस्ट ए हैबिट। कचरा बोलिए, क्लाइमेट चेंज बोलिए, कुछ नहीं है, जस्ट हैबिट है। आपको जस्ट चेंज करना है वो हैबिट। इंस्टेड ऑफ लिटरिंग, आप लिटरिंग बंद कीजिए, ओपन बर्निंग ऑफ वेस्ट बंद कीजिए, सब कुछ मैनेज हो जाएगा मेरे हिसाब से। तो वही मोटिवेशन को हम लोग को सबको, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है। अब 50 साल जी के हम लोग, कोई स्ट्रोक से प्रॉब्लम है, किसी को शुगर का प्रॉब्लम है, किसी को डायबिटीज है, 100 साल भी नहीं जी पाते, तो क्या फ़ायदा हमारे नॉलेज होने का कि हम 100 साल की लाइफ को हमने 50 साल करके रखा है। एंड वी आर सेइंग हम एडवांस है, वी आर नॉट गेटिंग एडवांस, हम लोग कम हो रहे हैं धीरे धीरे। सो वी नीड टू, मतलब इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करना बहुत ही जरूरी है। थैंक यू।
मतलब ना जो हम लोग काम करते हैं कम्युनिटी बेस्ड जो काम कर रहे हैं, सो अभी तो हम लोग कचरा साफ कर रहे हैं, वी ट्राई टू मेक प्लेसेस ग्रीन, पुट एन इम्पार्ट इंफॉर्मेशन कि चलो ठीक है सेग्रीगेशन स्टार्ट्स एट होम। उसके साथ साथ when people started changing in last 4 years, 5 years जो हम लोग on field काम कर रहे हैं, right now people are into wildlife protection as well। अभी जंगल बचा रहे भैया, मृणाल भैया जानता है, कल परसों भी हम लोग ने एक 4 kg, almost 4 kg का चाइनीज पैंगोलिन रेस्क्यू किया फ्रॉम हंटर। ऑफ कोर्स उसमें 3 थे, जिसमें से 2 को तो उन्होंने मार दिया था, but then one rare Chinese pangolin which is almost extinct in the entire world has been, मतलब लोगों के पास उतना मतलब नॉलेज है। सो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू से कि आगे का जो हम लोग करके गए, सो नाउ थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, पीपल्स थिंकिंग हैज चेंज्ड। हाँ, सो नाउ पीपल आर लाइक कि चलो ठीक है हमको ये नहीं करना है, एंड वो चलो लकड़ी नहीं काट देना है, व्हिच वाज अ ह्यूज बिग प्रॉब्लम। एंड स्पेशली हम लोग जो जगह में काम करते हैं, दिस इज लाइक फॉर वाइल्ड लाइफ स्पेशली एंड फॉर द एनवायरनमेंट। हम लोग का एरिया में सबसे ज़्यादा हंटिंग होता है, सबसे ज़्यादा मीट खाया जाता है, बुश मीट बोलो, एनीथिंग क्रॉलिंग इज ईटन, मतलब ना। तो वो चीज़ को हम लोग अभी राइट नाउ वी हैव द स्टेज कि हम लोग ने 2 पेंगोलिन्स सेव कर लिया, वी आर सेविंग बर्ड्स, और वाइल्ड बफेलोज आते हैं उनको भी बचा रहे। सो इट्स नॉट ओनली द बैड थिंग विच मतलब ना कि इंफॉर्मेशन जाने से अच्छा होता है, बट देयर आर गुड थिंग्स एज वेल व्हेन कम्युनिटी मोबिलाइजेशन हैपेंस। सो वही बोलना।
I'm more recommending on the policy side actually, which will actually help the innovations to get implemented. because there's a gap on innovates and implementation. So one is that very important is that there's a very much disconnect between the green innovators and the government. So there can be a boot camp, or I won't say boot camp is a very fancy word. There can be a just a meet of innovators meet with the government so that we understand what are the policies that we get. Because whenever you innovate, we have a different sets of challenges and everything cannot fit in one policy itself. So an opportunity where innovators can meet the policy makers in the government and understand what are the policies they can avail and what are the policies can be relaxed for their initial days. So, because there are lots of the conventional product is way ahead than us. We had more money than us. And they will be eligible to all the criteria being given by the government for different projects. So relaxation for the startups initially who are in the green space, so that they can validate the market, so that they can do a low fertility trial at a commercial scale, at the real life, because वहाँ trial करते we give up. One thing that, and one more thing, this is a very larger thing that I am visioning, that if government can incentivize the startups who are actually creating impact. For example, the positive environment impact in certain ways which motivates the startup more and more and reward, because what they are doing is different. What they are doing is trying to be positive. If there can be a collaborative approach every time, that would really help more and more startups to go green. Even the companies who are actually being more polluted, they will be pushing towards that. So, like EPI is a very great policy for people to take back plastic waste. But for startups, there is nothing like that when they are working on the impact side or the environmental side. These are the few recommendations and hopeful thoughts actually, if that can be worked on.
I will have the last one.
Okay. For the future. And I'd like to summarize some of the points which I consider as recommendation, which let me point out. Like one is, say, bamboo economy of the Northeast. Entire Northeast is rich in bamboo. Then, of course, promoting community level entrepreneurship, which is very important. That is the starting of everything. Then also, let's say, like common platform by NEC or similar organization for creating awareness of green initiative in the region and events. Next thing will be skill development. Let's say skill development is required, and more, I think, more such skill development and schemes and workshop for the entrepreneurs more frequent, because that's where the involvement will come. Otherwise, mostly people we are having once in a year, like people they are not aware of that things. And of course, as we say, incentives for startups creating impact. It's a very important thing. You reward people who have done something.
Not only raising money.
It's not raising money. Yeah,
startup raising money में खत्म हो जाता है.
Yes.
So impact क्या है?
Yes. So impact, not in terms of financial thing, but social impact. Yes.
Financial, in terms of.
And specifically for Arunachal Pradesh, what I think that we agree, I think, is awareness creation in the grassroots level. Like these people are doing. That has led to something very positive, right? And then local technologies should be promoted in every corner of Northeast. So there are so many things which is not exposed to the outside world, and even our people also don't consider it. We always look at the West or Europe if something is happening there. Then another thing, of course, is maybe relevant for this place like Arunachal is micro hydro projects. You can generate locally and distribute the power. This doesn't require too much of investment, and you are not having too much of power lines going here and there. You generate locally and feed locally. Then of course, another thing that should be also say, promoting organic cultivation. And also what you need to create at the same time, marketing platforms. That's what is missing, because you create something at 1 rupee and maybe somewhere it might be selling at 15 rupees also. But that in between thing is lost because the cultivators or farmers are not able to market properly. And then it rods or whatever, vegetables, all these things are not reaching the right customers. So I think these are the points which you can summarize, but definitely there will be some more. We need to think about it.
Incentives to companies for
going green. Oh yes. Yeah, so that one I will add. Yeah, that is common for all fiscal incentive for companies going green.
गिफ्ट स्कीम आ गया है सर
So I think see, we come to know a lot of things and we keep on discussing.
But understand there is that there has to be very stringent monitoring.
That's the issue.
That is the main thing. Everywhere, when you talk about NGOs doing something and not carrying it on further because no one
is being incentivized becomes an issue. I have mentioned that under the heading
you forget your subsidies.
No, I put it as subsidies. No, it is a subsidy or an incentive, whatever. Ultimately, what happens is a lot of rule bending takes place. So it loses the bigger picture. This is some of the financial reward mill hai. I mean, if a company like Volkswagen has been doctoring their diesel emissions,
That's a big problem.
yeah,
There is a big problem.
so if Volkswagen, a German company, and Germans are supposedly known for the industry, can go to such an extent, I mean, यहाँ पे तो it is a God-given rule.
चलो
Don't hold me responsible.